Tonight, you're not escaping. You're arriving in a place where the body softens and the mind lets go. Welcome to Brazil, not just a country, but a rhythm, a pulse, a breath, where the Amazon whispers in green, endless syllables, where Rio sleeps under moonlight like a forgotten carnival dream, and Bahia sways in the twilight, humming a lullaby of sun and sea. This is not a story to keep you awake. It's a gentle unraveling of thoughts, of stress, of everything you didn't even know you were carrying. Let Brazil hold it for you. Let the rivers carry it away. And let this voice guide you gently into calm wonder and maybe sleep. If this journey helps you breathe easier, subscribe now and join us every week as we drift across the world, one dream at a time. Let us begin, where the mountains kiss the sea and the golden curve of the coastline wraps the city like a cradle. This is Rio de Janeiro, a city that breathes, that pulses, even in stillness. And tonight, she welcomes you, not as a tourist, not as a traveler, but as a quiet guest, drifting through her stories. Breathe in. Let the rhythm of Rio move through you, slow and warm. You may feel it in your shoulders, softening, in your breath, deepening. That's the magic here. It doesn't ask you to perform. It invites you to be. Let's begin at the water's edge, Copacabana. The name alone hums like a lullaby. Picture the moonlight dancing over the wet sand, the sidewalks with their famous black and white wave pattern glistening after a soft rain. There are no crowds here tonight, only the soft hush of the Atlantic tide, rolling in, rolling out, steady, rhythmic, like a sleeping breath. You walk slowly, barefoot perhaps, not because you must, but because Rio gives you permission to move slowly, to take up space without urgency, to exist in your body peacefully. As you wander, you pass a lone street vendor packing away baskets of fruit, mangoes and papayas, glowing under the amber light of a lamppost. She nods at you gently, not in greeting, but in understanding, as if to say, rest is sacred. Take all you need. And now, dear dreamer, the screen shall fade into a gentle dark. Let your eyes grow heavy, your thoughts grow still. Just follow my voice, wander with your imagination, and together we shall drift into sleep's soft embrace. And now, far above the city, high on Corcovado Mountain, a figure watches over you. Christ the Redeemer, arms outstretched open wide, not as a symbol of judgment, but as a quiet, glowing sentinel, a monument of grace. Up here, the air feels different, cooler, thinner, as if you've stepped outside of time. The city lights twinkle below like a blanket of fireflies. Favelas sparkle on the hillsides like stars that decided to settle on earth. It is beautiful and humbling, and yet it asks for nothing from you. You may not be religious, you may not be spiritual, and that's all right. Rio, like sleep, doesn't demand belief. It only invites surrender. Now, the sky shifts. It's the in-between time, not quite night, not quite dawn. You are carried softly, almost without noticing, to another place, Lapa, the old bohemian heart of the city. By day, it's alive with music, color, and celebration, but now it rests. The arches of the aqueduct stand quiet and pale under the fading stars. In the corners, echoes of laughter and old samba rhythms drift like ghosts. This is a place where life is usually loud, but tonight, it honors silence. You sit on a quiet bench beside the tiled steps of Celeron, each tile from a different country, a different story, a different dream, a mosaic of the world, right here in Brazil. And maybe you think to yourself, isn't that what we are too? A mosaic of every place we've been, every joy and every ache we've carried, every night like this, when we just needed to feel safe. And now you do. You feel safe, software, unhurried, whole. Let your eyes drift closed if they haven't already as we continue to the garden, the Jardim Botânico, a rainforest in the heart of the city. Even here, nature wraps around Rio like a shawl, protective, fragrant, alive. The scent of orchids, the hush of palm trees stretching tall into the dark, the distant chirp of a toucan, the deep, grounding stillness of earth. You pause beneath a canopy, not thinking, just breathing, just being. And as the wind stirs the leaves, you feel something shift inside, a release, a letting go. You don't have to name it, you don't have to fix it, it's just dissolving like mist in the morning sun. Rio does that, it softens you without asking why you were tense. It embraces you without needing a reason. Tonight, the city cradles you, not as noise, not as chaos, but as rhythm, as light, as dream. You are not racing towards sleep. You are being gently carried there, one slow step at a time. So rest here, if you'd like, among the mountains, the music, the moonlit tide. Let your thoughts blur like paint on a wet canvas. Let your breath deepen, as if your whole body were sighing in relief. Rio will keep watch. Let us drift now to the beating heart of Brazil's spirit, to a place where history, rhythm, and rest are one and the same. This is Bahia. If Rio is the dream of Brazil's beauty, Bahia is the memory of its soul. Located in the northeast, Bahia is warm, not just in climate, but in presence. Everything here feels touched by the sun, kissed by salt air, and rooted in something older than time. As we arrive, the landscape greets us gently. Palm trees sway in the distance, and colonial buildings wear their faded colors like proud, quiet storytellers. Blue, yellow, coral. The walls are chipped, the paint weathered, but that's the charm. Nothing pretends here. Everything is authentic, open, human. You are in Salvador, the capital of Bahia, perched above the ocean like a song ready to be sung. The city is divided, upper and lower, and between them, the great Lacerda elevator hums softly, carrying people, stories, and lives up and down, day after day. But tonight, there's no rush, only stillness. The cobblestones under your feet are warm from the day's sun, and above you, the stars stretch across the sky in patterns ancient and undisturbed. You wander into Pelourinho, Salvador's historic district. At night it softens, the laughter fades, the music quiets, and the echo of drums lingers in the silence like a heartbeat that won't be forgotten. You see altars glowing in windows, offerings of flowers, candles, and sweets. These are for Orixás, the spiritual deities of Candomblé, an Afro-Brazilian religion born from resilience and rhythm. You may not know their names, Yemanja, Oxóssi, Ogum, but you feel them, not as gods perhaps, but as presence, as wisdom humming beneath your thoughts. You sit on a worn stone step just to rest, and from somewhere nearby the scent of fried acarajé floats through the night, black-eyed pea fritters crisped in dande oil. It's not hunger you feel, it's comfort. Something about Bahia fills you even when you've had enough. Now your guide takes you gently, without effort, to the edge of the sea. The waves of Bahia de Todos os Santos roll in calmly, each one like a whispered story. Fishermen's boats float in the distance. They rest too, just like the city. The sails sway in rhythm with the wind, and you notice everything here has rhythm. Not a rhythm that demands you move, but one that lets you slow down. It is said that in Bahia, time walks barefoot, and so do you now. Along a quiet beach lit only by moonlight, you pass a group of capoeiristas moving in slow motion, not fighting, not dancing, just flowing. Capoeira is part martial art, part dance, part ritual, and in this moment, it is all lullaby. The berimbau plays again, a single-note instrument, bowed and hollow, echoing across the sand. It doesn't rush, it just is, like sleep, like you. You begin to feel Bahia not as a place on a map, but as a feeling inside your body, a loosening, a warmth, a grounded, earthy peace. Your guide now takes you inland, to the shade and silence of Chapada Diamantina, a national park of canyons, caves, waterfalls, and plateaus. It feels untouched by time, as if the earth still dreams here. You rest beneath a massive rock arch carved by centuries of wind. Above you, a slow breeze moves through tall grasses. Below, a waterfall flows into a clear pool. You dip your hand in. It's cool and still, and you stay a while. Not because you have to, but because Bahia is patient. She asks nothing from you, she only gives. There's something else in the air here, a sense that joy isn't something to chase, it's something to rest inside. As you close your eyes, if they haven't already, you may hear the quiet hum of distant drumming, the soft clink of wind chimes in a window, the murmur of language, not one you speak, but somehow understand. Because Bahia doesn't speak only in Portuguese, she speaks in rhythm, in color, in kindness, and all of it is an invitation to rest. Tonight, there's nothing to do, nowhere to be, only this feeling of being held by a place that understands rest as ritual, slowness as sacred. Let your breath deepen now. Let your thoughts roll in and out like the tide. Let Bahia cradle you in her warmth, her grace, her stories, and her silence. Tonight we drift deeper, beyond the edges of city lights, beyond the paved paths and noise of modern living. We float now into something older, older than memory, older than language. The Amazon rainforest, a place not conquered but revered, a world alive in every breath, every rustle, every drop of dew on leaf and skin. You are not alone here, but you are at peace. Let the canopy welcome you, a living ceiling of green stretching endlessly above, leaves the size of shields, vines tangled like whispered stories, and beams of golden light breaking through in quiet shafts as if heaven is peeking in. Each sound has intention. A single cicada pulse echoes like a heartbeat. The flap of a blue morpho butterfly brushes past, its wings iridescent, flickering like a dream. Somewhere deeper, a troop of howler monkeys call through the trees, not urgently, just marking time. And time here is slow, sacred, almost circular. You move with no effort, as if carried in a dugout canoe gliding along a narrow tributary. The water is dark and still, like polished obsidian. Your fingers skim the surface. It's warm, soft, and reflective, like a mirror to your mind, showing only what you're ready to see. Your guide does not speak. They don't need to. The Amazon speaks in scent, in shadow, in sensation, and you begin to understand without words. Up ahead, a cluster of thatched roof huts emerges, half hidden beneath the jungle's green breath. You've arrived in a small indigenous village, home to the Ticuna, one of the many original peoples of the forest. The Ticuna live with the forest, not against it. They listen before they touch. They ask permission from the land. They know which tree holds medicine, which leaf holds memory, which river bend carries the songs of their ancestors. You're invited to sit. There is a fire, small and respectful, burning with dry bark and leaves. The smoke rises slowly, curling into symbols that seem ancient, like forgotten languages speaking directly to the soul. A woman grinds seeds with a smooth stone, the scent of roasted cassava drifting into the air. A child sits nearby, painting a design on their skin, lines and dots that tell of their clan, their dreams, their protection. An elder begins to hum. It's not a song in any tongue, you know, but your body responds. The vibration resonates in your chest, in your breath, in your sleep-heavy limbs. It is said that the Ticuna believe the forest is alive with spirits, some that protect, some that teach, some that heal. And in this moment, you feel them, not as ghosts, but as presence. As eyes in the trees, as voices in the wind. You are not being watched. You are being welcomed. Deeper now. You follow a trail, narrow, muddy, fragrant with life. Leaves brush against your arms. You hear the flapping of a harpy eagle's wings overhead. You pass a ceiba tree, its trunk thick and wide like a pillar holding up the sky. The air here is heavy, not with heat but with meaning. Every root, every bark, every insect is part of something vast, interwoven, intelligent. A medicine man appears, a page. He wears woven fibers, feathers, natural pigments on his face. He speaks softly, and though you don't know the language, you feel his energy calm your nervous system. He holds a small gourd and begins to sprinkle something into the air. Herbs, ash, resin. A soft aroma, earthy, grounding, slightly sweet. It settles around you like a cloak. You sit by a river bend now, feet in the water, as pink Amazon River dolphins swim just beneath the surface. Their shapes rise like dreams and vanish just as gently. You lean back. The sky above you darkens into a soft indigo. The stars emerge, brighter here than anywhere else. There are no buildings, no phones, no traffic, just stars, trees, water, and breath. And breath slowly deepens. Each inhale, the scent of moss, of bark, of air that feels filtered through 10,000 leaves. Each exhale, a letting go. Worry, thought, identity, all of it flows downstream. There is healing here, not loud, not advertised, but offered. The Amazon is not here to impress. It's here to remind you, you are nature, you are rhythm, you are part of something eternal. You hear a flute in the distance again. Maybe it's human, maybe it's the wind, but it calls you, not to move, but to rest, to surrender. You lie on a woven mat beneath the trees. The hum of insects is now your lullaby. the distant rumble of thunder far away, as if the earth is breathing in her sleep. The forest is not silent, but its sounds are symphonic, calculated not to disturb, but to comfort. A soft rainfall begins. Each drop on a leaf is like a fingertip on a drum. You listen, you feel, you drift. The Amazon does not need to put you to sleep. It simply allows you to rest. And so you do. Not rushed, not forced, just guided, carried, held by the oldest rhythms of the earth. There are places in the world that remind us how small we are, but in a comforting way, not in fear, but in surrender. Tonight, you arrive in one of them. Iguazu Falls. Here, at the border of Brazil and Argentina, water doesn't fall. It roars, it dances, it sings a song so ancient even time leans in to listen. But you don't need to brace yourself. You're not here for a thrill. You're here to breathe, to listen, to witness the way nature lets go. You approach slowly along a wooden path raised above the rainforest floor. Lush green trees arch overhead, thick with vines and the scent of rain. The air is damp and earthy, alive. Birds flash between branches, toucans, parakeets, swifts, their wings leaving streaks of color across the morning mist. But their chatter fades as the sound of water rises. At first, it's a murmur, a gentle hush, like distant wind brushing through leaves. Then slowly it becomes a presence, a heartbeat, a pulse, a living wall of sound, and suddenly there it is, Iguazu. You stop, not out of obligation but out of reverence. Before you stretches a curtain of cascading water, 100 waterfalls, side by side, pouring from jungle cliffs into clouds of mist below. You don't speak. No one does. Because how could you? This isn't just a waterfall. It's a cathedral made of motion, a temple of mist and gravity. You move closer, step by quiet step. A light mist coats your face, cool and cleansing. It settles in your hair, on your lashes. You feel baptized in calm, as though something old and anxious is washing away, without permission, without effort. Each waterfall flows with purpose, and yet no two are the same. Some fall thin and fast like silver ribbons. Others burst out in thick torrents, crashing into rocks below. And still others trickle over mossy ledges like lazy lullabies. You stand before the most powerful of them all, Garganta do Diabo, the devil's throat. Despite the name, it doesn't frighten you, quite the opposite. It captivates. A massive U-shaped cliff where millions of gallons of water vanish into a cloud so thick you can barely see the bottom. And yet, you are calm. The roar is deep, endless. It surrounds you, envelops you. And somehow, it quiets the thoughts in your head better than silence ever could. Because here, in this place of power, you are not expected to think, to plan, to be productive. You are only asked to feel, to be. A butterfly lands on the rail beside you. Its wings flutter once, then twice. Then it stays still, resting in the storm's breath, unbothered. You smile, because this too is a lesson. Even in chaos, peace can be found. You sit on a nearby bench. The ground beneath you vibrates softly as if the earth is humming a lullaby. And perhaps it is. You look across to the Argentine side, where more waterfalls tumble like threads of silk from green cliffs. Rainbows arc in the mist, soft, fleeting, perfect, the kind of beauty that doesn't need to last to be real. And as you breathe in, you realize the air feels different, cooler, cleaner, full of negative ions perhaps, but also full of release. Every exhale feels like a tiny letting go of worries, of tasks, of tightness in your chest. You are not falling asleep. You are floating toward it, like a leaf on the river, like a cloud in the spray, carried by something larger than yourself. And in that surrender, you feel safe. As the sky begins to shift, blues deepening into soft violet, the falls continue undisturbed. They don't stop when night comes. They don't need the sun to shine. They just are, moving, flowing, becoming, and so are you. No destination, no pressure, only this moment, this sound, this mist, this breath. Iguazu doesn't offer answers, it offers presence, and sometimes that's all you need. So rest here, in the roar and quiet. Let the power soothe you. Let the water wash through your mind like music. You don't need to understand it. You only need to listen. You are safe. You are welcome. You are home in the mist. Let us travel now, down a winding stretch of coastline, far from the cities, far from the noise, to a quiet town tucked between green cliffs and golden sand, where the Atlantic breathes in long, slow sighs and the jungle hums in time with the tides. Welcome to Itacaré. Here, on Bahia's Cocoa Coast, the rainforest walks straight into the ocean, and nothing rushes, except maybe the waves. You arrive not by highway, but by rhythm. Each turn of the road is lined with palm trees and cacao orchards, their heavy leaves brushing the sky like slow, sweeping hands. The air is thick with sweetness, earth, fruit, salt, the kind of scent that makes your shoulders relax before your thoughts even catch up. You enter town just as the sun begins to lower. Itacaré isn't big. It doesn't want to be. Just a few cobbled streets lined with surf shops, beach bars, and sleepy guest houses, each painted in sun-faded colors, blue, tangerine, lime green. And still feels like everything is here. Time moves differently now. It doesn't tick forward, it drifts sideways. The locals don't glance at clocks, they look to the sea. And tonight, you do too. You follow the soft sounds of waves toward the beach. Praia da Concha. Concha means shell, and the curve of the shore cradles the bay like a sleeping hand. The ocean is calm here, not crashing, just breathing. You walk to the edge of the water, where the last light of the day is melting into gold across the surface. A few small fishing boats float in the distance, their sails tucked in, resting. Much like your thoughts, you sit on the sand, not out of exhaustion, but out of peace. The kind that rises from the soles of your feet, moves through your chest and tells your nervous system, you've arrived. Behind you, the jungle whispers. You can hear it in the rustle of banana leaves, the distant call of a howler monkey, the soft buzz of life that never fully sleeps. This place is wild, but not chaotic. It's untamed in a way that feels freeing, as if the earth herself has chosen to breathe a little slower here. Later, you wander inland. Not far, just a short path along a red clay road. Cacao trees stretch on either side. Their pods hang low in deep orange, red, and golden hues. This land, long ago, was shaped by cocoa, and even now, the energy of sweetness lingers in the soil. You pass a small farmhouse where a woman stirs melted chocolate in a clay pot. She hums, You don't recognize the tune, but it sounds like something that would taste warm and comforting. The stars begin to show, a few at first, then dozens, then hundreds. The kind of sky that only places without city lights can offer. And beneath that ski, you find another beach. Praia da Ribeira. This one feels more secret, more sacred, a narrow stretch of sand flanked by tall cliffs and jungle vines lit only by moonlight. You sit again, feet in the warm, foamy edge of the tide. You don't feel small, you feel held by the land, by the sea, by the moment. In the distance you hear the faint rhythm of drums, capoeira maybe, or just a few friends gathering near the water. Laughter, music, firelight. It's not loud. It's not calling you to join. It's simply saying, life is still happening. But you don't have to chase it. Not now, not tonight. And now, the wind shifts. A warm breeze brushes past your cheek, carrying with it the scent of salt and wood smoke and roasted plantains. You lie back on the sand. The stars above shimmer like they're blinking slowly, just for you. Your breath matches the waves. Your heartbeat slows. Even your thoughts become quiet. This isn't sleep exactly. Not yet. This is the space before sleep. The soft edge of wakefulness where everything is calm and nothing needs solving. You don't need a solution, you don't need answers, you only need this moment. Itakare understands. It doesn't offer luxury, it offers presence. It says, put your feet in the water, let the day slide off your shoulders, let the night carry you. Gently, so you do. With the jungle at your back, the sea at your feet, and the stars above you like whispers in a language you once knew. You drift, not in body, but in being, and for the first time in a long while you are completely, utterly still. Let us float now to a place where time no longer walks. It glides, where the land is barely land at all, but a mirror for the sky. This is the Pantanal, the largest tropical wetland on Earth, a sanctuary of stillness and life, hidden in the heart of Brazil. Here the air is slow, the light is soft, and everything seems to shimmer, as if the world were seen through half-closed eyes. You arrive just before dusk. A small boat rocks gently along a narrow waterway, its wooden hull creaking softly as it glides past lilies, reeds, and mirror-like reflections. The water is shallow and endless, stretching out in every direction like a giant silver canvas. You sit quietly, watching the sky turn honey-colored as the sun lowers behind the tall grass. And in this moment, there is nothing to do, nowhere to be, only this. A single heron lifts from the reeds, its wings catching the last rays of sunlight. It flies low over the water, casting a long shadow that seems to stretch forever. You don't follow it. You don't need to, because here in the Pantanal you learn to stay, to listen, to let the world come to you. The boat drifts past a family of capybaras, the world's largest rodents, but gentle as sleeping stones. They sit half submerged, their eyes half closed, completely at ease in their world of water and grass. One yawns slowly. You might too. Farther along the bend, you spot a jabiru stork, tall and proud in the shallows. It stands still like a statue carved from the sky. A breeze moves through the water hyacinths. Their lavender flowers nod gently, as if whispering lullabies in a language you once knew. Everything here has rhythm, but it's not a beat you walk to. It's a pulse you rest in. You lean back in the boat. The wood is warm from the day's sun. Above, the first stars begin to blink into view, reflected perfectly in the glassy water below. Sky and earth become one, and you, somewhere between them, drifting without direction, not lost, but found in stillness. Your guide steers toward a quiet marsh. There, hidden in shadow, you see the golden eyes of a jaguar just for a moment. She stands at the water's edge, powerful, elegant, calm. She sees you, and then she turns, disappearing into the grass like a thought you're no longer chasing. Even here, where the wild things live, there is no fear, only presence, because the Pantanal doesn't rush, it watches, and tonight, it watches over you. The boat comes to rest near a small lodge, a rustic wooden deck surrounded by lanterns, their soft glow dancing on the water. You step onto the dock. Cicadas hum softly, crickets join in, and somewhere a distant caiman slips into the water with a gentle splash, barely loud enough to notice. You sit in a hammock strung between two trees. The air is thick and warm, fragrant with mud, flowers, wood smoke. The stars above you multiply. You didn't know there were so many, or that they could feel so close, each one a quiet witness to your breath. Inhale, the scent of wet earth, clean and pure. Exhale, the thoughts you no longer need. There is no schedule, no agenda, not even a story to finish, only a landscape, wide and open enough for your mind to finally unfold. You may hear the distant call of a toucan, its voice echoing across the marsh like a memory. You may see a flash of silver in the water, a fish jumping once, then gone. And perhaps you'll simply close your eyes, not from tiredness, but from trust, because the Pantanal holds you, just as it holds rivers, herons, wild horses, and wind. It cradles everything without needing to change it, and so it cradles you. Let your thoughts become water, let them ripple, let them fade, let your body soften into the hammock, into the sound of frogs calling gently from the shore, into the steady rustle of tall grass in the dark. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to the quiet part of yourself that always knew how to float. And now you drift, deeper still, carried by mist, by starlight, by the sacred hush of the world. And now, dear dreamer, we've come to the quiet edge of this journey. Brazil has cradled you gently, and now she begins to let you go, not with goodbyes but with soft whispers, as if tucking you in with memories made of moonlight and mist. Let's drift once more, through the places your spirit has wandered before sleep fully claims you. Do you remember the golden curve of Rio de Janeiro, where city met mountain and mountains touched the sky? You walked barefoot on the shores of Ipanema, while Sugarloaf stood watch across the bay. You heard the distant rhythm of samba in the breeze, not loud but pulsing like a heartbeat you carried in your chest. And there, beneath Christ's open arms, you let go of tension, of thought, of time. Rio shimmered like a song, and you became part of its melody. Then we journeyed north into the soul of Bahia, through the colorful hills of Salvador, past tiled courtyards and candlelit altars. There, history danced with faith, and the scent of acarajé drifted through quiet alleys like a prayer. You rested by the sea as capoeira swayed by firelight, and Bahia taught you that peace doesn't come from stillness but from rhythm. You were held by something older than cities, older than maps, and deeper still, You were carried into the living breath of the Amazon rainforest. You floated beneath green canopies, your fingers grazing dark, silent rivers. You listened not with your ears, but with your body to the language of birds, the heartbeat of frogs, and the soft footfalls of unseen spirits moving through the trees. You weren't a guest, you were part of the forest. The Amazon didn't lull you, it absorbed you, until even your thoughts were leaves falling slowly, softly into the current. And then came Iguazu. You stood before her thunder, but there was no fear, only awe. A cathedral of water and mist, where your breath deepened, your muscles softened, and you remembered how to simply be. Each waterfall fell like a page turning, and you, quiet, still, let the story unfold without needing to read it. You let the water speak, and it said, "You are not small. You are part of something vast." And you believed it. After the roar came Itacaré, where the jungle met the sea and time curled up to sleep in a hammock of stars. There, along the Cacao Coast, you let your feet find sand again. The tides hummed lullabies. The trees whispered in your ear, and you laid your thoughts to rest beneath the moon. Itacaré didn't ask for your attention. It offered you quiet, not to silence your mind, but to soothe it. And then, the Pantanal, where sky and water melted into one and the animals moved without urgency. You drifted with capybaras, watched herons lift into flight, and listened to the hush of the reeds as stars appeared one by one like secrets. The jaguar didn't speak, it didn't need to. Its eyes reminded you, you are allowed to rest, to slow, to disappear into softness without apology. And now, here you are, not in Rio, not in Bahia, not in the jungle or the marsh, but in the space that exists after wandering, where the body is weightless, the mind is quiet, and the soul finally exhales. Breathe in like the tide returning. Breathe out like a canoe sliding back into still waters. Feel the echo of Brazil still within you, in your shoulders, your spine, your breath, the laughter in the alleys, the mist on your face, the wings of birds, and the hush of water lilies in bloom. Sleep doesn't chase you here, it welcomes you. Let the dream continue without you now, softly, silently, as Brazil fades to starlight behind your closing eyes. Boa noite, good night.